let's talk about some things that go well together. You could say this tie and pocket square combination. You could say this hat in the Northeast during the winter time. Or you can say A.T. Perry in the corner of this end zone. Driscoll embodies what every team wants in a backup offensive lineman. A big fella that'll show up and do his job each and every day. The Amsterdam native went from averaging just under 2 points per game to 12. But what's even crazier, in his first 2 seasons with the Orange, Edwards had 1 double-digit scoring game. Last year, he had 6 in the first month of the season. And this is a huge deal for the Suns, who just hours ago saw Kyrie Irving make his debut in Los Angeles for the Dallas Mavericks. Kevin Durant now goes to the Suns, makes them an instant competitor in the Western Conference. You need to rely on those other guys, whether it's the 2 other starters or guys coming off the bench. We saw Symir Torrance give it a little spark to that offense. He had 10 points, a few assists. He needs to be that second primary playmaker when Judah Mintz is off the floor. What if I told you in January the Chiefs win 14 games and lead the NFL in receiving yards? They have 8 receivers who all totaled over 250 yards on the season, 14 different scorers on offense. Maryland lost in the semifinals last year to Boston College. Syracuse fell to Northwestern in the quarterfinals. But these 2 teams, they're familiar with one another. It's been a few years since they last played, going back to 2020, that shortened COVID season. Syracuse did pull off a win, 10-5, but it's been all Maryland in this series. They've met 25 times, and the Terps lead 23-2. And before she calls it a career, she's got one more objective in the WNBA, and that's to add another ring to her collection. And Wake Forest is a team that knows how to play shootouts. They love to put up points. They had 543 yards of offense tonight. So when Syracuse lost some of that momentum, Wake Forest, they did it, and they were able to score each time they got on the field. In just his second career PGA event, 20-year-old Michael Thorbjornsen came in as a question mark and exited as an exclamation point. How much more disrespect can the Wildcats get? They lose at TCU and then come out and shut out Oklahoma State 48-0. The same Cowboys team Texas just lost to a couple weeks ago before their bye week. Kansas State is underdogs. I'll put $10 on them to cover on their own home field. Welcome back. I'm Nick Zelaya. Tournament time continues on the diamonds around the state. This weekend, South Windsor is playing host to the American Legion 17U Northeast Regional Day 2 at Rotary Field. Starting off in the winner's bracket, Danbury in New Hampshire battling for a spot in the title game. Bottom of the first, Danbury poured it on Berlin. Matt Wallen starts it off with a single to score 2. Robbie Briggs and Anthony Hacker touch home, and it's 2-0 Danbury. Later in the inning, Andrew Shafto says, hey, let me join the hit party. He smacks one into center to drive in another run. It's now 3-0 Danbury, and the damage wasn't done yet. Marcus Schoenberg goes oppo for a 2 RBI base hit. Danbury scores 6 in the first inning. They cruise to a 10-0 victory and a chance to take the chip tomorrow afternoon. South Windsor in action earlier this afternoon facing Wilbraham in Massachusetts. Bottom of the third after Wilbraham goes up early. South Windsor answers. Andrew Goulet reaches first on an error from the shortstop. Windsor ties it all up at 2. But a tough 7th inning for South Windsor. A double steal from Wilbraham. Keegan Duke avoids the tag and slides in safely to give Wilbraham a 3-2 lead. Still in the 7th, Jack Strout rips one for a stand-up double. 2 runs come in to score. Part of a 5-run 7th inning. Wilbraham takes it 7-2. Also tonight, the Fairfield American 12U Little League team opens play in the new Metro Regional up in Bristol. Fairfield American will take on a team from Cumberland, Rhode Island. Game time 7 o'clock. Highlights on News 8 at 10 and 11. The New York Mets have seen their lead in the National League East shrink to 3.5 games because those Atlanta Braves, they've been pretty hot. But the Mets are good too. A chance to extend their division lead, playing 2 games today. Game 1 of the Mets and Braves at Citi Field. Mets get it going early on. Bottom of the first inning, Pete Alonso, the polar bear, with the base hit to right field. Starling Marte scores, and it's 1-0 Mets. They take a 2-0 lead after the first inning. Bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Mets. Francisco Lindor, the shot off the center field wall. It was not a home run. He thought so, but it drove in 3 runs nonetheless. Lindor, 3 ribbies on the day. Mets go up 5-0. Then James McCann put a 3 spot on the board in the bottom of the 7th. The Mets did the RBI single. Mets go up 8-3, and they go on to win Game 1 8-5, the final score.
Seventh rounders, they don't get the chance to do this. Hear their name called at the NFL draft, walk across the stage, and that was the case for Isiah Pacheco, who got picked by the Chiefs, pick 251 in last year's draft. Week 1 of the season comes, he scores touchdown number 1 right here in Arizona, and now the 23-year-old gets to return to State Farm Stadium for a chance at a Super Bowl ring, something the other 31 teams in the league didn't think he could help with.
It's special for me because, I haven't had an offseason yet. There's guys that was in the same position I am right now that are home, ready to watch a Super Bowl. For me, I have been playing in 2 All-Star games, and there has not been a chill spot for me to just relax. So it's been football, football, football.
His attributes, his skill set, it jumps off the screen, right? He's physically gifted, so his success isn't on the field. It's not surprising me. He does everything right off the field. He's professional, and he continues to grow each and every day. He's accountable. He takes coaching well. Smart kid, works hard. So, I'm just happy for him, and his growth's been great. But he always had it in him. From even the first day OTAs, you could tell this kid was the real deal.
From the day I seen him start running, I knew what he was finna be. I knew what he was gonna be. So man, I seen all the work that he puts in too. That's my dog. It's like my brother now. So I get to see all the passion that he puts into the game and all the work that he puts in as well.
I respect this game, and I love what he's been doing. Explosive, fast, and strong too. And he got that breakaway speed. So yeah, I love what he's doing, man.
When I got the opportunity, it was what do I do now that I have the opportunity, and that was just work. I love competing, and like my dad says, just keep working hard, son. Be the leader you are, and it will show.
Pacheco finished his rookie campaign with 830 rushing yards, which ranked top 5 among first-year guys. And the running back isn't worried about being in the national spotlight because as a 7th-round pick, he's done plenty to help his team win ball games. Reporting in Phoenix, Arizona, Nick Zelaya, Newhouse Sports.
There's a few strong characteristics that he has that's allowing him to face adversity head on and push through and continue to live his life the way he wants to live.
From a young age, Jack Lamson knew wrestling was his sport.
And my dad kind of choose one, even though if I choose basketball, we're probably still wrestled. So, and then I chose wrestling, and we kind of just stuck with that. I thought it was really fun.
Now as a junior at Cato Meridian High School, Lamson just wrapped up his best season yet, posting a 43-4 record, being crowned the 2023 Class B champion for a 2nd straight year and the Section 3 Division II champ, the first for Jordan Elbridge in 28 years.
Coming in the state tournament, 40-1, feeling pretty confident, and I think it was a pretty dominant season.
It's not easy. Only 13 people a year get to do it for their weight classes. So there's over 30,000 kids that wrestle in the whole state. Percentage-wise, I don't know off the top of my head what that is, but a very fine, small number of people get to accomplish the things that he has.
Even with all of the accolades, the past 6 months have become the most challenging of Lamson's life.
I didn't really think much of it. I could still see fine. Nothing was hurting. Everything was. And then they came in and told me that they didn't know what was wrong. And that's the moment that was kind of like, oh crap, this is kind of scary.
Lamson was diagnosed with Leber hereditary optic neuropathy, a rare inherited disorder that causes vision loss. It has made him virtually blind in his right eye, while his left eye does all the work for now. But the junior continues to fight both on and off the mat and won't stop until he takes down this disease.
If I quit now, it would all have been to waste, and that's not something that I'm interested in. I think that I spent a lot of my time and energy into the sport, and all I want to do is succeed.
Everybody has their own formula, right, of success, right? For basketball, you got to be tall. For football, you got to be big and strong. But for wrestling, everybody has their own game plan. Everybody has their own unique style, and it's about getting to your game plan, executing your plan of winning matches. And Jack has a great game plan for the matches, and I don't think anything that has happened to him is going to stop him from winning matches.
Diseases won't stop me. Nothing will stop me. Injuries, nothing. I'm still going to do the things that I love to do with passion and as hard as I can. And I'm still going to win and be successful.